Hello, Africa. My name is Eunice Tonye, and this is eTVGhana's African Women's Voices Show. It is a show that tackles issues pertaining to women as they contribute to national development. Wow, I am so happy to meet you again. Every Wednesday, we sit down here and we discuss issues that concern women. I want to say a very big hi to all those who are watching us live on Facebook. Thank you for always joining us from across Ghana, Africa, and the world. And in due time, I'll definitely acknowledge your presence. So I'd like you to begin to send your waves right away. And if you've got comments, let them begin to flow so that I get to read your comments first. Otherwise, if it comes late, then I may not be able to attend to it. And a whole lot of you don't really feel happy when it happens that way. Okay, I'd like to say a very big thank you to all the sponsors and partners who have made my show possible. First of all, I'd like to start with Chana Sheto. Chana Sheto is Ghana's #1 pepper sauce. So if you've not tried it, you need to try it this time around, okay? It goes with any kind of food. If you like it hot and spicy, we've got a variant for you. And if you want it mild as well, no problem. They've got a variant for you too that can satisfy that particular taste or need of yours. So pick up their number on the screen right now and try and engage them. It's also a very good business opportunity. Buy in bulk and sell. People are buying and they're consuming it. So it will really move for you, okay? All right, so moving on to my hair, I'd like to say a big thank you to Awo's Hair. You can find her on Facebook and Instagram at Awo's Hair. And she's ready to support you in whatever way you want her to support you when it comes to your hair needs. If you want it bleached, if you want it woven, whichever style it is you want, she can always sort you out. Thank you, Awo, for my beautiful bouncy hair. And my outfit, always put together by Afariwa Styles. She also can be located on Instagram and Facebook at afariwa.styles. Afariwa is into contemporary ladies and gents outfits. So if you want something really nice that you need to move on, and go for that event, I need you to try out Afariwa Styles, okay? So she's also got accessories. So if you want the jewelry, if you want the sandals or the slip-ons, she's got them all. And trust me, when you fit any Afariwa Styles outfit, you would want to go back there again. And Lizzie's Tomato Mix is also a proud sponsor of this program for that tasty jollof rice, peanut butter soup, light soup, a wedu if you like tomato in it, okay? If you just want anything that has got to do with tomato, please always use Lizzie's Tomato Mix. It will make a whole lot of difference in that particular meal of yours. Right, so I'll be linking you up right now to our 60 seconds update where we tell you about what's happening with women here in Ghana and across Africa. Do stay tuned.
A non-governmental organization, Life Again, is helping about 20 out of 100 empowered teen mothers to return to school. Reports indicate that a total of 687 girls in the Upper West region returned to school pregnant as of May 2021. This was when schools reopened after the government announced a lockdown in March 2020 due to the outbreak of COVID-19. Chief Executive Officer of Life Again, Saudatu Mohammed, said the group is keen in ensuring that these young mothers receive the help needed, adding that those who wish to school after birth will be supported. Minister for Gender, Children and Social Protection, Madam Sarah Adjoa Safo, has advised children to be alert, avoiding close contact with strangers or questionable characters in their communities. The minister made the call in a speech during the forum to celebrate the National Children's Day, which was on the theme Role of Community-Based Structures in Protecting the Rights of Children on Monday. She called on parents to educate their children and protect them from all dangers, since it was through such efforts that results would be forthcoming. Self-acclaimed Queen of Ghana music, Wendy Shea, is gradually giving up her title as she announces she is no longer interested in worldly things. Wendy has been laid back in the music industry and on social media as she has deleted all her posts on her Instagram page following her decision to uphold her true calling, Christianity. The socialite, who had hundreds of engagements, is now back to zero and also changed her profile name to Shannon Star from her original name, Wendy Shay. This came about after she announced in an interview that she has seen the
And you're welcome back to eTVGhana Studios, where we are having African Women's Voices show. On social media today, we actually announced that we are going to be treating a topic that really concerns a lot of women, and that because September 1st is marked across the world as a day to create awareness around polycystic ovarian syndrome. Some people also call it polycystic ovary syndrome. Whichever way you want to call it, it is PCOS. And this situation or condition is affecting a whole lot of women. We hear about 1 in 10 women are suffering this condition. And it comes with a whole lot of risk factors, and it presents itself in ways that we're going to be discussing further. And what concerns us a lot here too is the fact that it is leading to infertility amongst a lot of women. And we have seen that, well, there are ways we could manage it, you know, with the help of nutrition and good dieting. So who should we call? We had to look around and we had to find someone who is certified, a certified PCOS dietitian. So whatever information is going to be given to you, it is going to be one that is, you know, backed by authority. Okay, so if you're not sitting by your set right now, you need to come and sit, because I'm about to introduce the finest dietitian. That's what she's called on social media. So please look out for her right now. Finest dietitian, and you can even follow her. That's her name on Instagram, and on Facebook she is Frederica Otu. Okay, you find her on Facebook as well. So Frederica, you're welcome.
Hey, thank you so much. It's been
You're
a long
welcome.
time.
Yes,
we
I
communicate
remember.
on WhatsApp and all that, but then it's been a long time. I saw you.
We met physically.
Yes.
We are so happy to have you today. And
thank you so much.
the interesting thing is the fact that we have to discuss PCOS. For some people, they are hearing about it for the very first time.
Yes, I know.
So if we could just take a look at what PCOS is, so that those who do not know about it can understand what it's about. Because, I mean, the entire month of September is about creating awareness around PCOS, so that those who don't know about it will get to, you know, understand it as well. So please take it away.
All right, thank you. First of all, I would like to say a big good evening to my viewers. It's been a while, and I went on break. I'm back, refreshed and revitalized.
Welcome back.
So, I mean, PCOS is something that I'm passionate about. I'm passionate about women's health and PCOS for that matter. And today being the 1st September, and even the whole month is for the awareness of PCOS. It happens that a lot of women do not know about it. And so I took it upon myself to make it known to people who don't know about it. PCOS, I would say that it's a metabolic and also an endocrine disorder. So hormonal and also how the body runs. It's a disorder of hormonal and how the body runs. And some people also say it's a reproductive disorder. But then it's it is not known. The cause of it is not known. So it is multifaceted. A lot of causes here and there come to play when you are looking at it. And so some people will say it is a reproductive disorder. Some people say it's a hormonal and metabolic disorder because of how it presents itself. And it is characterized by irregular periods. So women who have it do not have their menses for months, and then they have other symptoms which we'll be going into as we go on to the show. So that is basically PCOS. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Now that we have an understanding of what it is, it goes a long way to say that if you're someone who is really experiencing irregular menstruation, so like today you see it, it flows in certain ways, you don't see it again, and then it takes some time, there is a situation that needs to be looked at. Yeah. Sometimes even when we speak to the elders, they say, oh, the man or say, it happens, women, it happens to us. It is not normal. Okay? So do not let anyone who says, oh, it's normal, convince you. It's not normal. If it's not flowing as it should, you need to get attention immediately. We'll go for a quick commercial break, and then we'll let you know how PCOS presents itself in women, all right, when we come back. And you're welcome back to eTVGhana's African Women's Voices show. We are still discussing PCOS. And before I went on the commercial break, I said I was going to ask our dietitian here how one can really say that, okay, based on what I'm experiencing, I think I've got PCOS. So, Frederica, how can one know that she's got PCOS? What will be happening to the person?
So when someone has PCOS, you realize that you have an unexplained weight gain. And so all of a sudden you have gained too much weight and you keep gaining weight. And even when you do all the dietings that you want to do, you are still not losing the weight. Apart from that, you'll be having irregular menstrual flow. Yes, irregular menses. And then some of them have something we call hysterism. So they have excessive facial hairs like that of a boy. Okay, this is the fact that their male hormones, their testosterone, has gone high, and so they have a lot of facial hairs and body hairs around their face and body and all that. And then we also have mood swings. They have cravings, so they eat a lot, and they crave for sugar foods and all that. Some of them are depressed, so they get angry quickly, they are sad quickly and all that. Some of them have many cysts, we call follicles. So cysts around their ovaries. That one, you will not see it with your eyes. But the most common signs are the excessive hairs, the irregular menses, weight gain, and then some also have what we call insulin resistance. So their sugar levels are not being maintained or managed, so they can either go low or very high. So they are walking around with high sugars also, and it has other implications. And then some also have what we call a facial hair, that's hysterism. So there are a lot of the symptoms. Some also have infertility, and then when they are experiencing the infertility, they go through the test and see the doctor, and then they realize that they have a PCOS. But then the ovary cyst is not seen with the eye. The most common one is the period that is not flowing, and then the weight gain, and then the facial hairs and all that on the person.
Okay, so the recommendation then will be that, you know, before you even go to see the doctor, if you've been experiencing something like this, like the irregular menses, you know, and you've got the facial hair. I even read up that acne. Some people also,
yes,
you know,
breakouts. They get a lot of breakouts
acne
on their face. Yeah, they have acne.
So when you experience those kinds of symptoms, you should begin to
and
go to the hospital easily as well.
Yes, they get tired easily as well. Like, you can't explain it. By the time you realize you are just tired, you feel so tired. Yes, it also happens. And then some of them to the extremes, they have hair loss.
Okay.
So
some people gain hair,
a lot of
and
hair,
then some of them will lose the hair.
Some of them will lose the hair. We call it alopecia. So they lose the hair, and it presents itself like a man going bald.
Okay.
Some of them have hair breakages. You see that your hair keeps pulling out and all that. So these are some of the things you should be looking out for when you have that. When the insulin levels are not good also, you realize that you're craving for sugar foods, craving for more energy dense foods also. So these are some of them. And then it's also as against the weight gain. The weight gain, yeah.
Okay, so it's something that can be diagnosed in the hospital. But before you get to the hospital, if you've been experiencing some of these physical symptoms, at least it should get you to know that, okay, it could be it, but you still need to go to the hospital for them to check you out and then say that, yes, you've got PCOS. So the main reason why we gathered here today is because we want to see how we can manage it. And I'm very sure a lot of people are like, could you please cut to the chase? Let us know exactly what we need to do to be able to manage it for those of us who already know that we've got PCOS. So let's look at what diet can do for us here when, you know, we begin to see the symptoms, or even when we've been told that we have it, you know, from the lab results that we've received. How will diet help us to be able to manage the situation? Already you've mentioned that there's no cure for it, so that's why it has to be managed in ways like dieting.
Yes. And it will interest you that diet and lifestyle is the first line of treatment. Yeah. So usually when somebody is diagnosed of PCOS, I wouldn't say that when you see the symptoms, it means that it could be anything. So you should first check with your healthcare practitioner. Then there are labs that they are going to do to find out if really it's PCOS. If it is not, and you are just gaining weight also, or your hormones are not balancing, you will still be put on diet though, but then for you to be diagnosed, there should be a proper examination. So some of the tests that they can do, they are going to check your male hormones, the testosterone, androgens. So when people have PCOS, their androgen levels go high. And so they'll have to test whether your androgen levels are high before they can do that. But then diet and lifestyle is amazingly the first line of treatment. What happens is that all the causes or the origination of the disorder or the condition is diet related. And so we find out that there are causes which are genetic, and then we have the environmental causes. So with the genetic, it can be managed, but the environmental causes can be reversed actually. So we have people who have been put on a healthy diet, and then they have reversed the PCOS. They have lost weight, and then they have normal or flow of their menses, and they are on it. They are still doing that. Diet plays a critical role. Nutrition, in the sense that first of all, when somebody has a PCOS, there's a lot of weight gain, and so studies have shown that for you to manage it well or reverse it, you should you should lose at least 5 to 10% of your weight. And that alone can help you to ovulate and then have your menses back, and also reduce your insulin resistance. So then you have to check the kind of foods that you eat. Will be going into that. We also have micronutrient deficiencies. So the acne, the hair loss, and all that is as a result of some micronutrient deficiency, as a result of another cause, which is being the oxidative stress. So in our bodies, we have things that are going on. The body itself produces something we call free radicals, which are running the system. And so the cells also have to produce something we call antioxidants to flush out those free radicals. They are the bad guys. But then when you have PCOS, or when you are developing a PCOS environmental condition you have too much oxidative free radicals in your system. And so there's too much oxidative stress, like stress in your system. When it happens, there's something that we call inflammation. So something is happening under your skin or under your body that you don't even know about. So there's an inflammation process going on. And this inflammation or this oxidative stress comes out of our normal day-to-day stress. So somebody will say, when I'm stressed, I bloat, I gain weight.
Yeah, especially around the belly area.
Yes. And so studies have even found out that people with a lot of fat around the belly area, the central adiposity, tend to be insulin resistance PCOS people. So
and that insulin resistance means that they are very susceptible to diabetes then?
Yes. So they are not able to control their sugars well, just because you have a lot of fat around your belly area. And so when we talk about this PCOS, it's a lot more than what we think. And because of the causes and how it comes about, people are treated according to what is wrong with you. So somebody can have insulin resistance PCOS, just that. Somebody can have the hormonal side. So when you have the insulin resistance, yours is the metabolic PCOS. That is a type of it. So that one is, you're not able to manage your sugars well. Your cholesterol or your lipids will be going high. You are likely to have other comorbidities that is not good for the system. Yes, obesity, weight gain there. So that side is the metabolic side. The hormonal side is when you have the hair loss or the excessive hair growth. You have the acne, the breakout, you have the fatigue, you have the mood swings, depression. And these are as a result of the stress. When there's too much stress on the system, on the body, these nutrients that are responsible for acne reduction, hair production and all that are being reduced. Nutrients that are responsible for happiness, feel good hormones are reduced. So then diet comes handy in here in all the various causative agencies that the disease presents itself. And so if somebody has insulin resistance, we are looking at a diet that is low in glycemic, meaning that foods that are low in sugar, that's when you eat them within a matter of 2 hours.
Is that what we have on the screen right now?
Yes, that's what we have on the screen there. So we have whole foods, foods that have not been processed, foods with fiber. Okay, these are so
the insulin resistant kind of people who have got that kind of
they have to go for low glycemic index diet. So foods that you eat that within a space of 2 hours, when we check your sugars, it should fall to normal. Foods that contain fiber are the foods that we say low glycemic. So when you check the table, we have vegetables and fruits there. We have cereals and grains being there.
Okay, so can we look at it with the color coding? I see
the
the
color
green
code.
part.
So we see the
0
green
to the 55. It says low. So what does it mean?
It means so this is the number allocated for the glycemic index.
Okay.
So when so we just present it in a normal term that if you are eating, you should go for food that are rich in fiber.
Okay, so does it mean that this 0 to 55, the apple there, is it good for the person to consume?
Yes, it is good for the person to consume. So the green means go.
Okay.
Green means go. Then we have the lightly red saying that you are in the middle. Okay. So because our culture and our native foods are not only fruits and vegetables, you cannot just then depend on these foods. So people will be like, oh, I'm cutting carbs. I'm just eating only vegetables. But vegetables are carbs, you see. So you have to combine the cereals from the middle part and then the green part to be able to have a stable insulin management or sugar management.
So for instance, if you take the rice, then you combine it with the green vegetables that are there.
Yes. Okay. So that the load of the sugars will be coming down for you. Okay. Sometimes you can go for whole grain rice, not a rice that has been polished.
Okay.
Okay.
So then moving up to the high part where we've got 70 and above, I see the fries.
Yes. And that is what we love.
Yes. We
so
love the
people
fries.
Who are having the insulin resistance PCOS tend to crave for the red part, the sugar-filled foods, the fries. As we are going, you will see them. And these foods are also known to be anti-inflammatory. They are also known to be inflammatory, so because they cause inflammation in the system.
Okay.
And so you realize that people have combinations of either of the causes or the types. So somebody can be insulin resistance and inflammatory PCOS because there's inflammation going on in all the causes.
Okay, so I think we'll have to go for another commercial break.
And come back.
So now we've understood what we're supposed to be consuming if we have got the insulin resistant kind of PCOS. So when we return, we'll look at the inflammatory part of it, right?
Yes.
Okay, so do not go away. We'll be right back.